Hello, guys. In today's video, I will be talking about the obvious topic that you would have thought I would have talked about a long time ago, but I actually haven't. Um, the main thing, the reason why I haven't talked about Marvel Rivals and Overwatch, I didn't want to say anything that was flat out dumb. Like, I said I really hated Marvel Rivals for a lot of stupid reasons, but now that I've played the game for around 2 months, a month, and have hit like GM3, which is not like amazing, but it's it's not like the easiest thing to do. But I'm a teenager. I could have hit so much higher. But one thing I want to clarify at the start of this video, I'm not going to be hate I'm going to be hating on both games, Overwatch and Marvel Rivals, respectfully. The reason why is they're both really bad games. I want you to know that. I think the format, in my opinion, either I just don't like the format of these games, or the format of these games are just inherently really bad. In my opinion, I just feel like these like types of games, I feel like PvE tank support damage really works well. But in PvP, it is I think extremely hard to do from what we've seen on most of these games. But the first topic I really want to get into on why I don't the first part of why I don't really like Marvel Rivals is that it doesn't innovate a ton off of Overwatch. If you go back to the roots of like PvP shooters, you have like COD, of course, but then you have class shooters, and the first one to kind of do it was maybe TF2. TF2 really didn't have a class system per se. They just had heavy, medic, and then the rest of the roster was just DPS. That's kind of insane, you know? Like there wasn't a definitive support tank DPS role. That's one thing Overwatch really did innovate off of when when Blizzard made Overwatch. It was freaking 10 times just more like better. It wasn't better than TF2. The reason why TF2 is like really good is just because it's stupid. It's simple. It's a simple game. But besides that, Overwatch it really expanded off of TF2 simplicity and made an extremely complex game. You had three roles, you know. Of course, most of them are damage. I mean, like it makes sense because damage are the easiest characters to make in almost any game, rather than supports or tanks. Because there's almost so like you have to specialize a support and a tank, but a DPS. Oh, you just do damage in some way, shape, or form. That is good damage, and that's a DPS and have interesting abilities. You don't even have to have interesting abilities. Symmetra has turrets and a teleporter. The teleporter is the only interesting part about our kit. The turrets boring, but I just feel like Marvel Rivals didn't innovate too much off of it. Yes, they did add team ups, but I kind of don't like team ups. I'll get into that later. But I really don't like how it didn't innovate too much off of it, and people were just crazing over the game. In my opinion, they copied a lot off of Overwatch. Like you can take a character and say it's really similar to another character. I understand you could probably name three characters that are almost exact gameplays of each other. One of them, Venom. Yo, exact gameplay to ball, down to a T. The only thing that's different is primary and his ult. Even then, Ball's ultimate and Venom's ultimate are pretty similar. And when you like use them, and when you use them, of course, they're different ults. They do a ton of different stuff. Venom's is percentile based, siphons health from enemies. Ball places down a minefield, but they're both AOE. But that's like not definitive enough. And one part about Venom's kit that it's like, okay, of course you have like pile drive on Ball, and then like Venom's die. Those are extremely similar. They both launch up enemies in the air, and they cause displacement. Extremely similar. You need to be in the air most of the time to use them. Um, this symbiotic thing where it gains him back health. I understand that those are different, but you use them in the same exact scenario. Maybe not in the same exact scenario, but when you dive the backline as Ball, when you get low, you're just gonna shield up. the same thing as Venom. The only thing that I would give to you that you can't say is a copy is the grapple, because the grapple, that's like a pretty base mechanic. You know, you can't say that, oh, like they copied Genji because of Psylocke's dash or Black Panther's dash. You can't really say that. It's a dash. You know what I mean? Like, it's a really simple concept. But I think that it's just like, also team ups. Some of the team ups in the game are good. I really like the Penny Parker and Venom team up. You know, the characters can't play well with each other at all. Sure, they're both tanks. Sure, they're both spiders. One dives, one is a heavy defense character. And that is just not good together. So what they did was they gave him a team up. Penny Parker now has a defensive team up, which I really like. The only team up, part of that team up that I hate, is the Spider-Man team up. Now, people might look at me and say, well, Spider-Man really needs a team up. He doesn't. He doesn't need the team up. Venom can dive with him. As long as Venom and Spider-Man make a somewhat, like like what is it? Like, they thought a little bit before doing a dive attempt on somebody, they're gonna win. They're going to demolish that person. He does not need a team up alongside that. They're both dive characters. Another one, the Magic freaking Magic Psylocke and Black Panther team up. They don't need it. Of course, it's like a bit worse because it's just an escape ability. But bro, those characters already have enough escape abilities. And then they're all dive characters, which just makes it 10 times worse because they play together. They play together. They don't need more escape options when they play together. But if all three of them are on the team up, yo, you don't need the team up. Even if just two of them are on the team up, you don't need the team up. You flat out don't need the team up. And that's the like main thing I kind of don't like, is that some team ups are just really stupid. I think we need a lot more team ups that are like, say, the Psylocke, you know, that are like the Psylocke, Black Panther, and Magic buff, where it's 3 DPS, dog. You are never going to be running 3 DPS in any way, shape, or form unless we have reverse goats, but it's just damage. Of course, I don't think that'll happen. For a little bit, I think it was in pro play. I don't even think it was. I don't even think it was in pro play. There's just so much, like, such good tank ults that like need to be used and blah blah blah. And like, it's just like, yo, the Penny Parker and Venom team up is good because they can't play well together. They can't, you know, they can't play well together. They're both tanks. It's good for them to have it, you know. It just gives Penny a defensive option while helping out Venom a little bit. I'm pretty sure he gets like 100 health or just like some like 5% damage buff. And it's like, yo, the Hella Thor Loki one, I understand they're all related. And I'm like, I don't want to take that away from them. Yo, like, you can make Spider-Man have like a symbiotic bond where he takes less damage for a bit, like the Invisible Woman team up. That should be a straight up copy. I'm just saying, yo, great team up idea. This is so off topic. Yo, Spider-Man should have an ability where he activates for the next 5 seconds. All the damage he takes, max 250 health after what, 3 seconds? It's always after 3 seconds. You can't like not make it after 3 seconds. Um, he gets that amount of health back, but it's max 250. So if he takes, well, he has 250 health, but he can get healed. So like, oh, if he's like 10 health and the 3 seconds over, that much health is now given to him, and he'll get a base of like 150 health, so that you can tech it out. You know, before you dive, you use the ability, wait 3 seconds, get that 100 health, get that 50 health, give extra 50 health, and you ult, you get like what, 450 health. Yo, like that's a good thing because like, sure, it does help him with the Venom dive, but it's just like, it doesn't make him extremely annoying to play against. You know, it's just like a skill based thing after that, where it's like, oh, you have to kill him quickly, and if you don't, that's on you. It's completely your fault. You know, if you didn't aim properly, you know, you didn't time your abilities correctly to know, like, and like any stun would like stun the ability. No, it shouldn't. I feel like it should still activate it, but it's just like, that's more skilled than him having just a straight up one shot. On yeah, it's on 250s, of course, but like, bro, there's gonna be at least one 250 in your match. And if there isn't, I hate when people are like, "Oh, well, this character's not broken." That's the one thing I hate about both games, about Overwatch 2 and Marvel Rivals, is that people go into the practice range, say this character's broken or this character's weak, and then proceed to shoot target dummies and be like, "Oh, this character's broken or this character's weak." And it's just like it's a team-based game. That's the one thing I also hate is I don't think a ton of people should have solo kill potential. Like Spider-Man, like yes, he should like be able to do a ton of damage, ton of good damage. He shouldn't be able to like genuinely like defeat anyone. You know what I mean? He shouldn't be able to do that because if he is, you know, it's just like yes, it's a character for a character, but you know, it defeats the reason for like a team based game. Because then the entire rest of your team is just a distraction, so your Spider-Man can go flank and then destroy both of the supports, and then you win the fight. You know what I mean? Like there should in some way, shape, or form be a team involved. You know what I mean? That's one thing I think I definitely struggled on Black Panther with, and it's just like and okay, one thing I will say, yo, the art of the game amazing. Yo, they really need like the art of the game. I can give it to them. I really like it. You know, I just feel like back to the argument of like they didn't like expand too much off of it. Like I just feel like one thing is that they it's like oh yeah, characters have different abilities, but it's just like this argument's kind of flawed in a way because it's just like well yeah, of course it's gonna be like that. But my argument is that like oh Marvel Rivals just feels like you took all the Overwatch characters' abilities and ultimates, scrambled them up, and then added a couple new spices in there, and then you have new characters. Of course, that's like of course there's gonna be like repeats of characters that'll be like kind of similar because they have a similar ability, they have a similar ultimate, and that's normally gonna happen. But I just feel like there's so many similarities that it's just like okay, I don't really like it. But my second point, I don't know. I think when people were just like and the sad thing is that Marvel Rivals came out when Overwatch is doing the 6v6 test. And okay, I'm gonna bring up a point about Overwatch now. I hate that the community always says for the 3,000th time when they die, like whenever I'm watching someone stream or I'm like playing with friends, and they're just like, "Oh, if that was 6v6, I wouldn't have died." Oh no, stop. I hate when people like just like glorify 6v6. I played the 6v6 playtest. I liked it. I liked that if a tank pushed me and I hit a couple headshots on Genji, they would be forced out of that position. They couldn't just run me down because they just had a significantly higher health pool than me. That really just made it so that it's just like, oh, okay, I'm not going to get run down by just some random Junker Queen who almost one shots me. But I can't do anything because she just has a higher health pool than me. In 6v6, it really does feel like DPS can punish tanks positioning. You know, it's like we're all these bad or flanking tanks because if a tank flanks, you can't really do too much about it in 5v5 because they'll just get healed. You know, they have a bunch of health. It's just like it's so many variables that it's just really annoying to play against. But it's sad because 6v6 came out when Marvel Rivals came out initially, almost like maybe like maybe a month after, or maybe like like a week after they released 66 playtests, and the servers were almost barren. I will say that there was a lot of people not playing the game and not giving it a chance, and I was just like, why? After what we seen from Spotlight in Overwatch, I I think the game is heading in an amazing direction. One thing I always said at the start of the game, I don't know if I really like saying if I want to say it now, but I'll just say it. One thing I will say is that if Overwatch died from Marvel Rivals, Marvel Rivals would also die. The thing is that people look at this game but they don't look at the developers. But they look at the game of Overwatch, and then they look at the developers. Why can't we look at NetEase Games? So I did that a long time back, and all NetEase Games really is a bunch of Marvel mobile games. That's not good. You know the game Creative Destruction, the rip-off mobile Fortnite, was actually made by them. Now, they do have one banger that I will say is a good game. Dead by Daylight. Dead by Daylight might not be the best game. It's one of their best polished games, in my opinion. When I played Dead by Daylight, I didn't even know it was made by NetEase Games. One of my friends that likes playing Marvel Rivals and really loves Dead by Daylight didn't even know that NetEase Games was the developer of Dead by Daylight. I had to tell him that. And that's the thing. But they also have other games like Naranka Blade Point. One thing I think you can make a rule in NetEase games is you can say this but this. You can say Naraka Blade Point was Battle Royale but melee combat. And I feel like you can make the same assumption with Marvel Rivals 2, kind of generally. Marvel Rivals is genuinely just Overwatch with Marvel characters. Now, people say, "Oh, it's not that simple." But it is that simple. Because you just make the Marvel characters into the game, which gives them that identity and gives them that kind of like skill ceiling and or skills and abilities that make them different than Overwatch, at least a little bit. I will say that ah, when people were saying at the start of the game that we didn't need open queue, it was kind of funny. Because guess what? It used to be nobody would pick support and of course people were running. I think at the start of the game people were running like, oh, 2-2-2, because people were kind of scared to see what the possibilities were. But once people figured out the possibility of 3 supports, I think that's when it really kind of annoyed me that it was open queue a little bit, because it wasn't goats, it was just 3 supports. And yes, once you get to higher ranks, once you get to diamond, you can ban supports and like make it so they can't really run it. They can still run 3 supports no matter what. There's more than freaking 6 supports. You can always run 3 supports no matter what. And I don't like that. I'm not saying the game needs to be open queue. I think, in my personal opinion, it would be better. I'm not saying they have to do this. Of course, I'm not some big content creator who's like, oh, they need to do this now. No. I really don't care what they do with the game. But yeah. And I just oh, okay. Back onto the Overwatch thing. I'm jumping all over here. Um Yeah, I just feel like not enough people were playing this 6v6 playtest. Not enough. Not enough. I don't think people are addressing the good things that Overwatch is doing. And then like I have friends that are like they didn't do it quick enough, and I'm like better late than never, right? You know? And it's like they just sit there and I'm like, yeah, but it's still late though. And I'm like, I understand that. I understand your frustration with the game probably, you know? But the one thing that I really don't like about the Overwatch community, I think there's a Goldilocks zone where the game is good. There definitely is a Goldilocks zone where the game is fun. You're either low rank and hate the game or you're high rank and hate the game. The real Goldilocks zone of Overwatch 2 is in between, I would say, plat and diamond, or maybe even gold and plat diamond, or gold diamond. Sometimes gold players are like stingy, and I don't know. I feel like that's the Goldilocks zone where the game is good, because the thing about that point in the game is everyone's pretty casual. I would say, like plat is like the casual players, like where they're at, or where the casual players are at. It's like like gold to like plat to diamond, gold to diamond. It's like people know the game, people love the game, people want to play this game. And the one thing that I don't like about Overwatch community, I've said it a billion times. I've had friends who get on this game who never play it and said, "Oh, if 6v6 was here, the game would be better. And then they never played the 6v6 playtest. And I'm like, what were you doing? I was playing Marvel Rivals, so you didn't take the time. And then like they're still sitting there being like, oh, Marvel Rivals is better. And I was like, I don't feel like it. Because you need to say that when you've played Overwatch 6v6. Because they're most likely going to switch to that. Because guess what? Marvel Rivals kind of beating them. And I just think that, I don't know. I just feel like people aren't giving Overwatch a chance, really. And I feel like you're going to have to soon. Like, soon enough, I feel like Marvel Rivals is going to fall off. The thing about this game is I've made this analogy to friends, and I've said it multiple times, not on here though, is that people like Marvel Rivals simply because it is not Overwatch, nor is it Blizzard. I know that sounds crazy. I'm not blaming you for it though, because people don't like Blizzard already, and people have this skewed idea of Overwatch being bad. And I understand. It is like, bro, this game has been really lacking for a while. Really lacking. And you really look at it and it's like, yeah, I understand your frustration with the game. I understand your frustration with Blizzard. I understand all of that. But you still got to give them a chance in some scenarios. But another thing is cuz it's a new game. People will sit here and be like, "No, it isn't." I'm saying it is. The reason why I feel like the one thing I'm scared about is Marvel Rivals is fun for other people, and it was for me for a tiny bit. But I just think that like I think Genji is just 10 times superior to Black Panther, and I only like playing Black Panther in that game. No other character really suits my play style. And people are like, "Oh, play Psylocke." I'm like, bro, I hate Psylocke. Psylocke's broken. I don't want to get into that argument of, oh, this character's broken. I don't want to get into that argument right now. But I just feel like it's because it's a new game. I understand, you know? If I give you the choice to say, this is the best analogy I think I've ever made about a game, would you rather climb a wall that is built or climb a wall that is being built actively? You, or better yet, would you want to get on a train that's moving or a train that's stopped and saying, we're going to move in 5 minutes, we're going to start going in 5 minutes faster than that train over there? You're going to say, yes, I'm getting on the train that stopped because it's going to be easier. It's going to be easier for me to keep up. The thing is, I dare you, I dare someone to not play Marvel Rivals for 2 years, a year. Don't look at any of the posts that people are making about it. Don't look at anything. Don't look at trailers. Don't look at new characters. Come back to the game when there's like 30 new heroes, 5 5 billion different mechanics, and you're going to be overwhelmed. It's not going to be the same game you once played. That's the same exact thing with Overwatch, baby. People soon enough, people are going to get really good at this game. And what was once pro is going to become good, then it's going to become casual. Remember back in the day of Fortnite, cranking a 90? Yo, content creators were doing that. Creators. That's the insane part. But now it's like noob level skill. That's like the first thing you learn when you're coming back to Fortnite, or if you're going into Fortnite now. You learn how to do a 90. You learn how to edit. Back then, people did not know how to do that. People did not know what that was. You know, I just feel like since Overwatch is already a built game, of course people are not gonna want to play it because other people already know all the characters. There's already veterans of the game. You're just going to get rolled. It's not beginner friendly. I understand that. Marvel Rivals is beginner friendly because it's starting anew, and that makes sense. I understand that. The one thing I'm scared about for Marvel Rivals is I hope they don't get in an Apex situation. Now, I'm not saying that, oh, they're going to become EA, they're going to become greedy. No. Bro, at one point, Apex Legends had 25 million players, just like Marvel Rivals. But guess who's still containing a more consistent player base than Apex? Fortnite. Fortnite's the older game to Apex, still probably doing better than it right now. You know? And that's the insane part. I just feel like there's ground games that like you really consistently fall back on. Now, Marvel Rivals will not most likely will be a game for like that for people. Well, they'll fall back on it when they're bored with other games. I just feel like Marvel Rivals isn't insanely better than Overwatch. Another thing, another point is that, bro, I'll be in a VC with my friends. They'll be playing Marvel Rivals for 2 hours, and I have said I can't tell if I just joined this call and I didn't know what Marvel Rivals was or Overwatch. I would assume you're playing the same game. Oh my God, healers, what are you doing? Oh my God, tank DPS, blah 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 blah. They are so similar, eerily similar, that in my opinion they don't feel different. You know, like of course maybe in TF2 you'd be like, oh where's the tank? Oh where's the healer? But it is like that in both games in Marvel Rivals and Overwatch most of the time. You know what I mean? Go into open queue. You'll have people screaming at you. Oh, play tank. Oh, play healer. Oh, play this, play that. And it's just like, yo, this feels exactly like Marvel Rivals. My friends are still screeching at their monitors every time they die. My friends are still getting pissed at their teammates. You know what I mean? And that's what really does annoy me is that the games don't feel different when you're mad. You know what I mean? Of course you're mad. It's a fucking really similar emotion. But guess what? It sounds too eerily similar that it's just like, bro, you could be playing Overwatch right now. Know what I mean? I also feel like bronze listen to like low level players listen to pros too much, and they're like, oh, this game would be better with 6v6. I'm getting back on this topic, and it's just like, bro, you haven't even played this game at all. Like, bro, and it's just like, bro, people try to play the game like, oh, it's like their job. I don't care if you play Marvel Rivals or Overwatch. Play it like a game. I hate when people are like, "Oh, I'm gonna relax on Overwatch or I'm gonna relax on Marvel Rivals." Then they queue comp and they're like getting mad, and I'm like, "That's not how you enjoy the game. Don't do that, please. Just play quick play and have fun." People take quick play too seriously too, all the time. And I'm like, bro. Once I hit like the high diamond, I didn't care. I'll be that's the sad part. I didn't care about quick play anymore. Yo, I would be still trying to select a hero, and the enemy team would be walking out, and I'm like, oh, okay. And my team's screeching at me. I'm like, okay, I don't care. It's quick play. Like, I understand, but it's like, bro, I feel like too many people are like, oh, I want to win. And it's like, yes, that may sound fun to you. Everyone has a different idea of fun in their head, and that's what I don't really like about that game. And it's just like about Overwatch and Marvel Rivals. Like I said in this video, I don't like love one more than the other. Yo, you want to know what it is? I just like Genji more than Black Panther, so I'm gonna play Overwatch. That's it. And also, damn. Also, getting new hero, getting a new like adding a new superhero, it's cool and all. The thing that I didn't like about one of my friends that what they said is that, yo, why would I play a game with some random ass people, or I'd rather play a Marvel character? And I'm like, that's stupid though. You aren't allowing new stories to be created. You know what I mean? Like eventually you're gonna get sick and tired of the MCU, and someone's gonna have to make new characters for you to enjoy and love. But if you're actively discouraging that, who's gonna do it? What I mean? If you're like, yo, I don't want to play Overwatch because it just has these random characters, I'm not gonna do that. Then you're actively putting down creativity, and soon enough, you're not gonna have anything to watch. Soon enough, you're not gonna be able to have anything to play because it's just like, oh, there's no new nothing. And it's like that's the one thing I hate is that I like getting new heroes. Okay, I like getting new mechanics from heroes. I'm not saying Yeah, one thing I'm not saying is that like Marvel Rivals doesn't have good mechanical heroes that are different than others, and then like Overwatch. Well, Black Panther, for an example, plays so much more differently than any hero in Overwatch. So much more differently. You know what I mean? Um, like like freaking Magneto. You use his ult defensively and then aggressively at the same time, and I love that. You know, I just feel like also some of the ratings are really bugged and stupid. You know what I mean? I don't like them. Like somehow Black Panther's a 4-star, but Solek's a 5-star, and I will make the argument. I will. This is the baddest hot. This is the worst hot take I've ever had. Spider-Man shouldn't be 5-star, but Spider-Man shouldn't be 5-star. In my personal opinion, Spider Black Panther is harder than Spider-Man. The main reason is both of the characters are extremely easy to learn. They're just combo based. It's like playing Magic. You know what I mean? They're the same exact thing. The thing is, the margin of error is so much bigger on Black Panther than it is on Spider-Man. So much bigger. Black Panther's like the risk to reward is just like so much bigger for like freaking like Spider-Man. His risk is really low for a high reward. Sure, you may not get a ton of value, but bro, I hate when people are like, I'm not getting any value when you get a support to 1 health. That is scary. Have you been at 1 health before? You were screeching at the top of your lungs to get heals or to get away. You're not thinking about, oh, what am I gonna do next? You were screaming for your life. It's scary, actively, and I hate when people do that. But I just feel like Black Panther can't get as much value as Spider-Man, and Black Panther is just 10 times more riskier. Black Panther, his main damage ability is his main escape ability. So if you miss a dash, oh, you don't have an escape ability, nor do you have any damage at all. You can't do anything. Literally, you have a spin kick, and then you have a climb, and then you're out of utility at that point. And then Spider-Man has 3 web grapples. Yo, they need to like tone it down to 2 web grapples. Yo, the thing that I don't like is whenever Spider-Man is like, oh no, they shouldn't do that. I'm like, they should. Want to know why? Who else can rival Spider-Man's mobility? Nobody else. With 1 web sling, that's equivalent to maybe 3 Psylocke dashes. If it's a good web sling, I'm putting in the best scenario right now. If it's in the best scenario, yo, you can get like not even a web sling. You can freaking do the Spider-Man tech where you like fly and have like the equivalent of like 3 Psylocke dashes with 1 web. Together, that's 9 Psylocke dashes. Or like 9 Black Panther dashes. That's insane. You can't rival that. It's annoying. You know? He should have too. Like, do you realize that Spider-Man can walk to a flank? He can climb to a flank. That's the reason why he has that mobility on him. And it's like, bro, you can get away on 2 swings. You can get away on 1 swing sometimes, as long as you're not horribly positioned. You know what I mean? I had this one Spider-Man say, I didn't like it, but he was like, it was one of my friends too. He was like, yo, you need 1 web to get in, 2 to get out. And I was like, what? Yo, that doesn't make sense. You're just pushing too far up then. That's your fault. Pull back less. Push the enemies back. That's good for your tank. You know what I mean? Your tank's just not like going in with you and helping you. You know? But the one thing I will say, I don't care what game you play. Honestly. Both games, I think you can play them. Yo, if you love Marvel Rivals, go play the game. If you love Overwatch, go play the game. I hate it when these communities are actively hating on each other. Bro, these games are like an extinct species. When do they ever do good? They barely do. They never do. And then like the one time that there's another like person, we're just hating. Why? Why? We don't need to. Like there's I understand a lot of it's like jokes and shit, but like a lot of it's also just like genuine like, oh, I hate Overwatch. I understand that. You can have a hatred for Overwatch, but you can't have that hatred forever. I had a friend say, I don't want to play Overwatch ever again and be genuine about it. I was like, well, you can't call it bad then. You can't call it bad. And he was like, damn, okay. I was like, yeah. But I don't know. I think they I just think that it's stupid that they're having a controversy or that they were having a conflict at some point, and they kind of still are a little bit to a degree. Of course, I feel like there should, of course, always be the business conflict between Blizzard and NetEase Games on who can make the better game. Of course, that's amazing. That's good business, you know. But like when it comes to the communities, yo, we're playing such similar games, bro. That's like somebody hating on someone because they play Souls like. Oh, this person plays a different soul like to me. Curse you. Why? Like, bro, we're playing the same game or same genre of game. They might not be the same game. They're pretty damn close though. you know, I will say that I like Genji better than Black Panther. I'll stand on that hill, and that's the only reason why I won't be doing a ton of Marvel Rivals content. I actually deleted it because I figured out that I just don't like playing it too much, and I'm just like I don't want. I just want to get rid of it. I want to. It's like putting me in a bad mood. I stay up till 9 playing it, then I start ranting about it, and then it's just bad. I don't like that. I don't like just being just pissed overall in like general. You know what I mean? But I hope y'all liked the rant on the Marvel Rebels versus Overwatch. Sorry I jumped around so much. I don't have a script for these videos. It is so difficult for me to follow a script. I think my ideas flow a lot better when I'm just on the spot and I'm not like reading off a sheet. It also feels more genuine when I'm not just like, oh, I've done scripts before. This is a little rant on its own. I don't like them, but you know, hope you guys loved this video. Big, big, big video coming. Big video coming. Elden Ring video. It's gonna be gonna try to make it one of my best videos ever. Little, little good Elden Ring video. You know, I did the Fire Samurai. It was horrible. That was like the worst thing I've ever done. But I swear I'm not on my PS4 anymore. I'm also on PC. I also have OBS. I can record it a lot better than I did. Okay, hope you guys know that. I will be making an Elden Ring video soon. Hope you loved the rant. Um, yeah, I just hope you guys are having fun on your respective games. And I will see you next time.